yourselves. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the second second episode of Behind the Crown, hosted by Anjane, aka Angie of Your Queens Incorporated. So sorry that our host Eki Famous could not be hosting tonight because she's away on a road trip and she's doing business and performing for some people upstate. So I'm here to hold you down tonight. So again, my name is Anjane, and I'm going to be your mister, your master, your mistress of Mike on the phone tonight. So let's get this started. This is Behind the Episode. This is Behind the Cry episode too, y'all. Clap it up. I need to see your love in these comments. We are Your Queens Incorporated. We are the first registered African royalty costume character company depicting stories of kings and queens from our present, past, and future. Definitely check us out on all of our social media platforms. We have YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Your Queens Incorporated. And even we are streaming on iRant podcast and YV Media. So please check us out. Check us out. And tonight I have a lovely panel of queens coming in to talk to you about tonight's topic, which is inner peace and healing. Um, this topic is a very dear topic to the queens itself, as well as being incorporated into the seven principles of Kwanzaa. So I don't even know where to start because this topic has really been something that is very much in depth in my soul. And I really feel like inner peace is something that grows with you in time of maturity, as you continue to get older and just certain things in your life. So before we even get into the topic, I want to introduce my panel of highly talented queens and kings. So the first person I'm going to pick on is my sister from another mister, Nefertiti. Can you come and introduce yourself to the beautiful people?
What up, beautiful people? I hope y'all hear me. I hope y'all hear me well. Yay, cool beans. Hi guys, my name is Nefertiti Warren. Oh my gosh, I've never been like introduced like second like this. I feel so excited. I'm so thankful to be here. Again, because you know Your Queens is everything. It's truly an honor. I'm just honored to be part of the company as a new queen. I'm honored to be amongst beautiful company of queens. I'm an actress, I'm an author, I'm a mother. I'm on a journey as we all are, and this season has truly been a season of inner peace and healing for sure. So I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen. Next up on the panel, we got my girl, Mickey. Mickey, introduce yourself to the beautiful people on today's audience.
All right. So, hello, everyone. As Angie stated, I am Mickey, all the way from Mississippi right now. Today's going good, and I'm just ready to talk about inner healing and peace. So, let's get started.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you so. Oh, I think somebody popped in the chat. I think somebody popped in. Is that Eki Famous on? Is that Eki Famous on? You had a few minutes for us today?
Can y'all hear me good? Yes, yeah. So you can hear me well. Excellent. Hi, beautiful people. So I'm keeping a staying back a little bit today because I believe in passing the crown and having my beautiful queen Angie host. So I'm here. I'm being around, but she got this today. And good to see you all. Peace and love. We're talking inner peace and healing. I'm excited because I want to get healed. You know what I mean? I want to get grown. All that good stuff. So thank you. I love you, Angie.
Thank you, Queen. Continue success on your week of dancing and so on and so forth. I can't wait to hear about everything. But tonight we're talking about inner healing and peace. That's what we're talking about. And we have two beautiful, talented ladies here who are going to talk to us about their understanding of inner peace. So the first up is Isis Thomas. She is a holistic child care director and owner of Children Quality Advanced Child Care in Brooklyn, New York. She attended Hofstra University and Brooklyn College, where she obtained a dual bachelor's degree in early childhood education / special education with a concentration in health and nutrition sciences. Isis is also a certified Kundalini. I'm sorry if I'm not saying this right. Definitely correct me when you get there. Yoga teacher, which I've never heard of, but I definitely want to know about this when I put you on, has been giving people the tools of balancing one's life for 8 years. Isis, please tell the people who you are and what you do.
Hello, hi. My name is Isis. You did a good job. That was the word Kundalini.
Kundalini. You see, I've never Vanessa, all that stuff, but Kundalini, never heard of it. Please explain to the people.
It's the best. Like she said, my name is Isis. I'm a mommy of 3. I have a group family daycare in Brooklyn. It's a holistic daycare. I also am a doula. I'm a herbalist, and I'm a certified Kundalini yoga teacher, which is just giving you the science and the technology to balance your life, especially living in this crazy cuckoo world that we're in right now. More now than ever, it's a technology that is so serving and will take you through the times. It will carry you through.
Oh my God, definitely. I gotta check this out because I've heard of all different types of forms of yoga, but not Kundalini. That's why I was looking at it now. It's like Kundalini, like what? It's a new type of yoga out here in these streets. But now that you explained it to me, I definitely want to see what's it about, if it's a balancing of life and so on and so forth. Thank you, Isis.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have our favorite, one of our great people from Your Queens who continuously blesses us with her dedication and her drive. Her name is Graciela Fairy Hawk, is a healing guide connected deeply to the 4 elements, assisting us on our remembrance of our soul's purpose. She uses plant medicine, Kundalini yoga, movement, sound healing, sacred art, and sacred ceremonies to assist in the healing process. Graciela, welcome. Please tell the people who you are.
Hola! How you all doing? I'm so excited and happy to be here and share sacred space with all of you beautiful queens. Whew, yes. So who I am Graciela Fairy Hawk. I am I am just really elated to share space with everyone. I do also teach Kundalini yoga, and it's a technology that you all need to get into. Like it is life-changing, like for real, because the one biggest thing that Kundalini, I could say, has really given me was it has given me back my breath. Meaning it has really helped me get back to my source, my life force. That is what our breath is. And when you combine that with like real beautiful technology of movement and breath and mantra, it's just a game changer. It completely aligns and shifts everything. It's a beautiful technology. So we definitely have to get into a session, y'all, if you never tried it. And Kundalini is just the Shakti. It's the beautiful life force that is that divine feminine energy that is activating, cleansing, clearing force, creative force that every single one of us have the ability to tap into. So it's really a blessing to share that technology. And I also do sound healing and art expression, just many other different modalities to help us reawaken to who we really are. And I'm excited to talk all about inner peace and healing with y'all.
Blessings, Queen. Blessings, Queen. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody on the panel. Again, my name is Anjanae, aka Angie Nicole. That's the IG. I'm here on behalf of Your Queens Incorporated, and today we're talking inner peace. So please, please, please be present in the comments. Give us your thoughts on these questions, and we're gonna jump right into the first question. So the first question of the night is, what does inner peace mean to you? And give an example of your experience when it comes to inner peace. So I don't know who want to take it first, but I think I'm going to drop it to Miss Isis to give us her definition of what does inner peace mean to her and an example of that.
What does inner peace mean to me? For me, I think inner peace is no matter what is happening outside of myself, that I'm able to remain grounded and solid and not be so attached to what's happening in the outside world. So regardless of what's happening, I am unaffected by those outside elements, that I'm able to keep myself centered, keep myself balanced, and heal myself. An example, I mean, the best example that I can say has been this pandemic, where we have a lot of people that are scared. We have a lot of people that just don't have the information, and no matter what I'm saying, no matter what I'm doing, I'm still so uber happy. Nothing has affected me. My life hasn't. It has shifted and it has changed, but it hasn't rocked me any way that I didn't want to go. I've still been able to maintain my inner peace, maintain my stability, maintain my balance, my daughter, and remain grounded despite everything that's happening around me, despite everything. I've been able to keep myself centered. And I think that's a fine example of inner peace. No matter whatever information I'm sharing on my platform, sometimes I have people that will say, "Isis, are you okay? You sound angry." I'm like, but you can't even hear my voice. What do you mean I sound angry? I'm absolutely fine. I'm here dancing. I'm here playing my sound bowls. I'm having a great time. So I've been able to maintain my inner peace in all this craziness that has been going on. She couldn't resist. Girl, get out of here. So that's my definition of inner peace. Despite whatever's happening, I'm grounded. Nothing is affecting me. Nothing. No outside element can affect me. I'm untouchable. Yeah.
That's a great way to look at inner peace, because being grounded is something that I guess the universe calls for people to have. We have that effect on each other in terms of like looking to ground each other in like wellness and happiness and fullness. So the fact that you even touched on that, explaining your inner peace, something that really, really sticks. People in the comments, please tell us, what does inner peace mean to you? Please give us that. Next up, I'm gonna throw it to my girl Mickey to let us know, what does inner peace mean to you?
All right. So inner peace to me means knowing how to ground myself from wanting not to go off on people or just blow a gasket and just talk to God if you're religious, or just look up and say, you know what could I do in this moment to be better? So inner peace to me would be knowing my strength, knowing my weakness, and knowing when and how to walk away, even when people try you. So, perfect example today. I am trying to graduate with my master's. I have been going back and forth with some of my professors about miscommunication, X, Y, and Z. And instead of going off the way I wanted to or the way I thought I should, sometimes you have to ground yourself and say, it's not worth it. And by doing so, it helps me calm down, and then it just allows me to move along with my day and be awesome and great even when I feel wrong. So that's my momentum and my thought on it at this time.
Queen, you better go with that, masters. Y'all, this is my thing for this is my like hand clap for tonight. If you know what this is from the show Legendary from I'm laughing because Nefertiti and Eki know that this is one of my favorite shows, and my OG of the OG, Mr. LaRoche, does this, and that is just the hand clap. So, ladies, when we want to give somebody a hand clap tonight, we're going to pick up our two fingers and we're going to go like this to give them all the praises in the world and give them all the blessings. So comments, please, everyone, put your comments in about what does inner peace mean to you. And I'm going to throw it to my girl Nefertiti to tell me what inner peace means to her.
Thank you. I'm gonna catch that, Angie. You passed the ball so lovely. I love playing with your sis. We always gonna win. We got a team of winners right here. All right, let me stop. Let me answer your question. Inner peace, though. Seriously, inner peace and where I'm at with it right now is definitely getting to a place where you're aligned, like your mind, your heart, your body is aligned. Because okay, let me speak for me because you say examples, right? Um, this has been such a transformational year, full of challenges that were painful and hard, but I know it's to make me grow. And so when you go through things that are challenging, you have lots of different thoughts in your head. You have, the thoughts that are pushing you, but then you have your thoughts that are kind of scared because things are changing. And then you have thoughts that's like, just stop and stay where you are. You know what I mean? There's so many things. So when your mind tells you one thing, then maybe your heart tells you another thing. Then your body might feel both of it. So inner peace is getting to that place where your mind and your heart and your spirit all come into agreement and all come into the understanding that everything's okay and everything's going to be okay and where you're going is okay. And just trust that as long as you stay aligned with God, with your source, with your spirit, it's going to be all right. Like Isis said, no matter what's happening around you, then you will be good. And then, also, Graciela, as you were saying as well, with that breath, I've found that, as y'all already know, breathing for sure really helps to connect and slow down the mind when it's racing and slow down the heart when you're like anxious at something or emotionally anxious too, and that helps to align everything and then ground everything, and you can be still enough to find that inner peace if you just stay in this stillness long enough.
Queen. You see, you taking me back to last week's episode. Yes, tens across the board, honey. You taking me to last week's episode when you speak about alignment. Because remember when we spoke about rebirth, and you were reading the scripture from the book that you're reading. And then I also spoke about my transformation in terms of like cutting my hair off and now embracing a rebirth, not even understanding that that was the alignment within my soul and the universe, telling me that it was time for you to come to be a different person because your mind and your spirit are on this path of life, but you're not really embodying that. So you need the alignment and not even noticing that what I was doing, I just thought, hey, I'm just going to get a haircut. Like it's not even, but that was the universe telling me that this was something I needed to do to come full circle and do a 360 and turn into a different individual, not like do like a transformation, like I'm about to be a whole new body, but just aligning my spirit and my soul and my mind. And that's something that you definitely spoke on. Again, people, please, in the comments, we have DJ Overload. No matter what the world is throwing at you, it's the ability to have a spiritual and physical calm to deal with the outer stress. Amen. Calmness and physical awareness are things that are very, 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 very so important when you're trying to have inner peace, because sometimes people, as Mickey said, people try you. People try you and they try to take that energy. And I am a person who believes in energies and like empathness. And I think people be like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, you need to understand that people have energies. And I don't know if anybody on the panel could attest to this, but if you ever walk into a room where somebody has some bad energy and then you just be like, you come in there, you be like, hey, oh, and then you just stop mid because of the fact that you like, oh, they just drained me. So now you like, oh, your movement is like, oh, you feeling like a slug now. So, at the end of the day, that is something that's so, 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 so important. Graciela, please tell us, what does inner peace mean to you, and give us an example of what that inner peace means.
Yes. So I feel like my inner peace has changed over my journey, because the more that I realize, for me, finding my true inner peace is finding myself. And a part of what that has been like for me is feeling, is like really allowing the feels to come. So I realized that I used to numb myself to a point where I would numb myself through eating. I would numb myself through just avoidance and just being so worked and so busy and, just avoiding being with myself. And then my body would shut down and I wouldn't feel anything. So now I invite in the feelings. And I necessarily, like Sister Isis was saying, I don't necessarily let anything take me off my feelings, but I'm allowing them and honoring them and just really inviting them in. And like when my body, because I feel, especially in my journey, I have been told, like, oh, you're too much, or you're like, why are you so emotional? And da 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 da. But I feel for me that my emotions are now me embracing them is really aligning more with my truth. And that brings me inner peace to be able to like own that and be like, yeah, no, like I feel this and I'm feeling it for a reason. And I see it, I feel it, I acknowledge it, I honor it. And if it's something that I don't need anymore, then I release it. And for example, today I was in a situation where I was literally just cleaning, just like I was helping one of my sisters clean through her closet. And, it's a new moon. So happy new moon, y'all. And, we're planting those seeds of like, just clarity. And so we're just cleaning and bringing that new energy in. And all of a sudden, I just get really sad. And instead of blocking it, instead of avoiding it, instead of eating it down to numbness, I let it go. And I just start bawling, just crying and crying. And then with that, I allow myself to feel. So I'm acknowledging what's going on in my body, what's going on in my spirit, what is the messages that I'm receiving of that is something that I need to address. And I just allow it and I don't judge it. And I'm not like, oh my God, I'm not trying to hide it because I'm with a friend. So I'm not like suppressing it. I just allow it. And then I feel so peaceful. Like after I just release it, let it go, and I'm like, wow. And I'm able to talk about it and be like, yeah, like this is what was coming up. And that for me is inner peace. And I'm not, it didn't hinder my, it didn't stop me. It didn't like, I was able to just let it come up, do what it had to do, speak what it had to speak, and then just go on my day. And I feel like so much of my life, I didn't allow that to happen. And then that's where I got a lot of dis-ease because it wasn't flowing and I was blocking certain things. And therefore I was blocking my blessings because I wasn't having a peaceful truth, because what I was blocking was my expression. And so now, so that I fully can express myself and allow without any like attachment to my feelings and just honor it, I feel so good. Like, and the release feels so peaceful. It's because it doesn't feel good when you hold it inside. So for me, that's part of like me finding my inner peace. And also not allowing other things outside of me to take me off my throne. Nothing can kick me off my throne. And if I do for a minute, let it kick me off my throne, I'll go, boom, I get right back in it. Like, so no matter what. And a part of that for me is just feeling. So thank you.
Oh, Graciela, you gave me a lot of things. I just wrote down so many different things I got to touch on. Definitely giving you a 10s across the board for that because I don't know. I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling your spirit. So the first thing I want to tackle that you said is blocking blessings and expression. I'm just going to relate it back personally to me. So before I came into your Queens, I was someone who used to numb, which is something that you talked about as well too, in terms of like I always stayed busy. I literally was like, oh, well, there's a party here, there's an event here, there's something here, there's a networking here, it's something there, so I'm gonna go there to make sure that like I'm just getting myself everywhere, not really knowing that I was suppressing my feelings and suppressing things that I really felt, suppressing childhood trauma, suppressing things that have happened to me in the past, not really understanding that until COVID hit, and like my whole life went from being up and up 7 days a week doing things to doing nothing. And it was a shocker. It literally was like, wow, what happened? What am I doing? And it was a reflection as well of understanding like what my role was and what my purpose was, and understanding that I had to come to terms with things in my past to be able to have this alignment, which Neffy talked to, have this rebirth, which we talked on our last episode about, and have this nuance about myself in order for me to continue on this journey of inner peace and healing. So it's just so funny how you talk about numbing your pain and numbing your emotions and numbing those things, because as people of color, that's something that we're told, especially if from Caribbean descent, because I'm from Caribbean descent, having emotions is something like women are not weak. We don't cry. We know we hold our shoulders and we hold our heads up high all the time, and whatever the case may have you. We're not allowed to show emotions because that makes us weak. But that really doesn't make us weak. It makes us vulnerable. It makes us human. It makes us have the ability to be sustainable and have the emotions to be able to care, because when you show emotion, it shows some type of care and passion for the thing that is either irking you, whether it be, you know, relationship, whether it be work, whether it be school, whether it be something of that nature. The fact that you have these emotions, they're valid. And as a person of color, I think it's time for us to stop dismissing people's emotions and dismissing people's opinions and validation on their emotions, especially when it comes to our Black men of color. Like at the end of the day, it's okay to cry. It's okay to have a seat and feel vulnerable, because it's okay. But what's not okay is for you to continue to hide in the dark and continue not to be self-aware of what is going on with your personal decisions and awareness, because society feels that we're supposed to hide or block these emotional things that happen to us, because if we do, it shows our weakness. So it's just it just brings it back to the point of where you guys are, what you talked about in terms of like your numbness, your emotions, and blocking blessings. So thank you for that, Graciela. I really appreciate the fact that you definitely hit on those topics. Queens. Definitely want to throw it to my girl Eki, if you have anything to say on this topic. What
Sure.
does inner peace and healing mean to you, and what have your experience been?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, shout out to you, Angie. You holding it down, hosting. I love it. I'm here for it. And I'm gonna take a page from Isis, what she said right in the beginning. That word grounded. Inner peace to me means being grounded, knowing who you are, trusting that everything is going to happen as it should, even if there's a fumble in it. Just trust the journey, trust in your path. A good example, of course, where we are right now with the pandemic. I personally made a personal choice to leave the Board of Ed at the moment. And people were like, oh, what are you going to do? What do you mean? I have gifts. My gifts will make room for me. And they are. I just trust. I'm like, money is coming to me. It flows. I don't have anything to worry about. Is that mind? Inner peace is having that positive mind frame. And a perfect example was shout out to Camille A. Brown and Dancers, Everybody Move. I'm upstate now in the Catskills. We're out in the woods. It's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. We got to perform at a high school yesterday and a college today. And an example of inner peace was just really trusting that we had some technical issues with music. And then, y'all, my hair, I thought it was fabulous. I was dancing and my hair got caught and tangled. But the inner peace was like, I danced with it. I just let it flow. And at the end, of course, it's the round of applause. We had a Q&A after to talk about that. And it's like, no matter what you go through in life, dance through it. If that makes sense for you all, dance through it, push through it, because it's going to come out as the way it's supposed to be. So later on, I was able to talk to the students, and I was like, y'all see me got tangled in my hair? And they were like, yeah, but you turned it into a dance. It was so fabulous. And because I trust my journey and I trust my process, one of the young ladies was in tears, and she said, I was moved by you. So it's even, I could have taken that like, oh my God, my hair, they saw me. And I was like, my hair's tangled, but we're going to dance with this tangulation going on. And they were able to connect to that. So inner peace for me is trusting and being grounded. Thank you.
Oh, Queen, you always hit me every time I speak to you. You always give me life. And like right now, you know, I'm about to come with a story because I just felt you.
Let's go.
The biggest thing you said to me is trust in the process, right? And every time something happens, I literally be in here, I'd be screaming, I'd be yelling, I'd be like, damn it. And then I'd be like, but why? But Eggy always says trust the process. And then like your living truth of trusting the process. So you just made an example. You said that you decided, which is your choice, to leave the Board of Education, right? So now people were like, oh, what you gonna do? How you gonna do it? And what was your response? Money will flow. This is the same conversation we had last year. This around not this time, but when the pandemic started, and I asked you the same question: what are we going to do? Because all our performances got canceled for your queens, and you said the money is gonna flow. And I was like, what you mean the money is gonna flow? The whole world is shut down. Like, how we gonna make money? Like, what do you mean? Like, we got artists to pay. Like, we want to have a Kwanzaa celebration. We want to do all this stuff. We have our rites of passage program for our youth. And we're like, what are we going to do? And before you know it, we had a meeting with our board of directors. We had a meeting with our queens. And we came up with different streams of way of making money for your queens during the pandemic. So I want to shout out to you, Queen, for always continuously giving us the uplifting and positive mindset that things are going to flow, because it translates into our everyday life and everyday thinking of, you know, as much as society wants to put us down and wants to keep us in a way where, you know, we have this negative thinking that we should just do what society wants rather than what we want to do. And it's just like, you just turn that around. And if you speak to any of the queens, I think the queens will definitely co-sign on what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, it's just like you have to trust in the process. And one of these things was trusting in the process and believing in your team to help you move to the next stage. And your queens is doing that. We really have moved to the next stage of or I shouldn't even say the move. We have elevated in my time within Your Queens Incorporated. So please shout out to all the queens and kings within the organization. Big ups to you guys, because without all of us, there would not be a Your Queens, and without Eki Famous, there would never be another first registered African royalty costume company called Your Queens.
So jump in. I love you, and I can't take credit. I'm giving thanks to the creator. Amen. But thank you, Angie.
Ashe. People in the comments. DJ Overload, thank you so much. Let's see. Inner peace calms our mind and allows us to see our path much clearer, helping us focus and keeping track of our goals. Inner peace, it does do that, because sometimes if you find yourself in stillness and you reflect on your day, you reflect on your life, or you reflect on things that have come in your circle for that particular time, it helps you keep track to make sure you check the box. And it's just funny that, you know, you said this, because a couple of days ago, Eki and I had a conversation about checking boxes. And we found something for Your Queens that we did in 2019 that talked about having a live show, which we are taping on today. So the fact that when we speak and we check boxes and we manifest through the calmness and the stillness, we definitely can proclaim it and we are testimony of the fact that this has definitely come to fruition. Stacy Nicole Carrera, peace and blessings, Queen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Stacy. All right, guys, you ready to jump into the next question? I think it's time for us to jump into the next question. So the next question is, what have you healed from, especially during the pandemic? So again, the question is, and please drop your comments in our chat box while you're online so that we can read your comments. What have you healed from, especially during this pandemic? As you see me over there.
I'm sorry, y'all. As soon as you finish that sentence, I was
Yes,
like,
Mickey,
oh, let me
go,
tell you, it felt like I
go,
was just
go,
waving to the
go, go.
pastor. I was
Listen,
like, oh,
listen,
God,
listen. Let
let
the
me
church
tell
say
you.
amen. Let the church say amen, sis. Go.
Okay, so two things. I have healed from really caring about this guy that I was just infatuated with to the point where I just made myself delusional by my own standards. And one other thing I have learned, it is okay to be okay. And that's just not like dealing with people, but just overall in the sense of I like being around people, but I also like my space. I used to want to go out all the time, and Corona said, nope, everybody gonna chill. We're gonna rock out in the house. And now I'm like, okay, it's more peaceful in my house than going outside doing heaven knows what, going to this party, that party. So sometimes just taking a moment to step back and actually breathe helps me be more grounded as well. So I don't know if it's the same for others, but now I don't mind being in the house as much. I do miss going to the movies and stuff, but rather safe than sorry.
Dang, Mickey, I definitely like I could see that, but I also, I'm a new mom, so I miss going out and I miss getting my dub on. Like I miss doing it. Like I miss getting in getting in the zone. And it's like, but as you said, COVID, like all the way around the door. So, I definitely understand where you're coming from, Queen. But blessings and blessings and blessings. Nephew, you want to take this question? What have you healed from, especially during the pandemic?
Sure, I'll answer the question after I did that dramatic, dramatic shout up about it. But you know what? Without saying too much, but going inward, really, right? What I've healed from the most this pandemic, y'all, is can I curse? I can't see y'all anymore, but I'm gonna bleep myself, okay? What I healed from the most this pandemic is my mother self, okay? My own self. Thank you for that double content. I've healed from my former self because I've truly been transformed in this last season. And it was hard. It was hard to face myself and where I was and have to talk to myself and where I'm going. You know what I mean? I healed from that. I had to just go face to face with myself and heal myself and heal from the past to get to the future.
Queen, I love you. So, the fact that you even being vulnerable and opening up to the world about the fact that you had to heal from yourself in itself is a testimony. Paulette Woodley says, peace and joy, Paulette. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning
Oh
in.
wait, can I add one more thing?
Of course you can. Of course you
Because
can.
I do also want to clarify too, and this is not like a thing, but like it's healing from yourself. Not even like because sometimes we think, oh, we beat ourselves up for the things that we do wrong and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just also just simply growth. You know what I mean? And it's just where you were before, and to get to where you want to go, and having to address what's going to serve you and what no longer serves you. So healing from even things like plans that you had before, thinking that that was going to serve you, and coming face to face with your plans for the future and comparing, is this still serving me, is this still for my best, and coming face to face with that past self as well, and being honest and authentic.
It's funny that you said that just now because it just made me think of a conversation I had with a dear friend a couple days ago, and she was like, we were just talking about our high school days, and we were just talking about how crazy it was, and she just was like, oh, would you go back to high school? Or like, what if you had a time machine and you had to go back, like, would you go back, and what year would you go back to, and why? So if you asked me this question before 2020, I probably would have been like, oh yeah, girl, I'll go back to college because I'm gonna get that nursing degree, and I'm gonna be a nurse because then I could have this coin, so I could have my Bentley and my Rolls Royce and my garage and my three family mansion and stuff of that nature. Because by this time now, I would already have that. But ask me today about that question, and I told her that I don't think I would go back at all. I said I don't think I would go back at all because all of the trials and tribulations that I had to deal with to get to today have made me stronger in every single way possible today. So the fact that like I've had to dealt with heartache, I have to dealt with, just family issues, I had to dealt with my own personal demons about having low self-esteem and not being able to love myself for who I am, rather looking at society and looking outward and seeing the Kim Kardashians or any of those type of people in the industry and thinking that that is a standard of beauty rather than embracing my own self. Especially after the fact that one person when I was in college literally made me do a college professor made me do a paper on the different conceptualizations of beauty. And I didn't even realize that in Africa, in a small town. In a small town. It starts with an M. I don't want to butcher it on here, but definitely starts with an M. And the women of that town, if you're skinny, you are actually felt to be malnourished. Being big and bony and curvy is something that is definitely held to a higher standard and is it more so even looked upon as being royalty, where we as an American society, when we see people who are big boned or have a different type of body texture than the norm that society is creating, we chastise that and we make that feel like it's not supposed to be there. But in other areas of the world, that is glorified and literally turned into a different positive light. So the fact that you're even saying the fact that you looked inward at yourself and had a conversation with yourself and you change yourself based on what you feel and what you think is something that can never be shaken. So Queen, big ups to you on that journey. Mel Honeybee. Sorry, Mel Honeybee. I have healed from self-doubt. This has been an anchor in my life, which has sabotaged career opportunities, friendships, and believing in myself. That sin has been repented and I feel born again. Greatest gifts to me. Hi, Queens. Hi, Mel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, 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 really appreciate you. Again, the second question for tonight's episode is, what have you healed from, especially during the pandemic, and how has the process been? So I'm going to throw it over to Isis. And again, what have you healed from during the pandemic?
This is a tough question, but I'm going to be very honest and very transparent. This pandemic has made me really encompass the saying, meeting people where they are, and then I've added leaving people where they are as well. I've had to shift as far as like my business is concerned. I have 2 businesses, my daycare, and I also have my holistic website. The holistic website does amazing because, everybody wants to be healthy. But I've also had to leave DOE. I was contracted with my daycare with DOE, so I made that decision to leave them as well. But I think for me, what has really been revelations for me was leaving people where they are, meeting people where they are, and leaving them where they are. And that included my family. We've always been a very close-knit family where we always took care of each other, but I always felt as if my efforts were superseded everyone else's, and I was the one that was taking the loss as far as growth. I have 3 kids, I have these 2 amazing businesses, it's doing really well, but why am I not able to get the house in Brooklyn that I want, or do the things that I want to do, because I'm literally giving my whole entire being to my family, so I had to really step back and pretty much leave my family where they are, to the point where we don't speak. And I've had to make peace with that because I had to honor myself and honor my children who are, young, and really leave people where they are. Like I say, not everyone is going to transcend with me. And if that includes my family, if that includes my son, so be it. I have to leave people where they are so I can better serve myself, better honor myself in everything that I want to do. The pandemic has really also shown a side of just humanity on a whole that really makes me sad to some extent, but also makes me hopeful because the healers, we are here and we are doing our work. We are honoring the God that's within us all. We are relying on, the science of our own immunities, our own bodies. It's made me stand firm in what I believe as far as God's pharmacy, as far as herbs are concerned, as far as using these things that the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, God, Jehovah, whatever. It has made me honor myself more and know that Creator, there's nothing outside of me that Creator has not given me. There's nothing outside of me that I'm looking for to heal me, to bless me, for me to manifest. Whatever I want is within my absolute reach. So the pandemic, I call it pandemic, has just really, the biggest thing was leaving people where they are. Like Isis, you can't save everybody. You can't save everybody. You can give them the tools. You can give them the word, but it's up to them to take it and own it, make it theirs, or believe me if you want to. And it's an evolving journey as far as my family's concerned. But like I say, I'm okay. Like despite everything that's happened with my family, my sister's not talking to me, my mother's not talking to me, and I'm like I say, when I lay my head down on my pillow, I sleep so well. Like I don't be tossing and turning. And I was like, I am having the best sleep, because I know, I'm good. I know I'm good. I know I'm a good person. I know the way I live, and that's by me honoring everything that I believe in, And this pandemic, it really tested, what you believed in and what you thought you knew, and who you thought the people that were around you. I'm like, where's my tribe? Y'all ain't it. Because I was a DJ in my past life. So I have a lot of people that, follow me and stuff. And I'm like, who the F are you? Why are you talking to me? It has just really reared its ugly head in a good way, because I'm just like, this is not my tribe. So it's for me to find more like-minded people. Like I like going on herb walks. I like taking off my shoes. I like laying in the grass. I like, this is the stuff that I love. And it just made me gravitate to those people that are more like-minded individual. Like, what skill do you have? Pandemic hit, I closed my daycare for 1 week. And I was like, I don't know what these people are talking about. Spirit do not lie. I am very intuitive. I do not go against what my spirit tells me. And if I say this is bullshit, it's bullshit. So yeah, I'll sum it up for now.
Isis, you just gave us food for thought. Like my takeaways from what you just said is meeting people where they are and leaving people where they are. Like that is such a powerful statement. Just bringing it back to my own personal life. Like someone has been talking to me and telling me this for years, and I really can't understand the statement. I don't know why it doesn't resonate to me. But at the end of the day, it's like, like, as you said, when you lay your head down on your pillow, you are content with who you are and what you do. And that decision to leave the people where they want to be, where they are, is something that's very, very, very much of a hard decision to make. And I commend you, Queen, for taking that decision and choosing yourself first, because a lot of us Black women have that issue with choosing us first. And the fact that you can sit here and say that your testimony is I choose myself in order for peace to be with my children and with my own personal self. and other people can just be over there because I don't need that environment over here. And when you lay your head on your pillow and you're content with that, that is nothing more than gratifying. So please, Queen, big ups to you, Queen. Definitely. Next up, we have Graciela. Are you there? Are you there? The question is, what have you healed from, especially during the pandemic?
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm back. um, yes. What have I healed from? Oof, that's a big one. From the
Can y'all hear me?
pandemic or the pandemic. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
Yep, man.
Okay. Um, where do I start? I feel like this pandemic, it was like a sacred sit down. I feel like spirit was just like, okay, you are gonna have to just sit down and um really look at yourself. And there might be parts of yourself that you don't want to see. There might be parts of yourself that you are neglecting and you have really been avoiding. And what are you really standing for? And if you're not standing for it, and if you're not around people that align with you, there you are gonna get booted out, and so are the people that aren't connected in to you in that way. And it has been so interesting because spirit just keeps moving me like physically, just like, nope, you're not supposed to be there, like boom, and just like kicks me out of situations where I at first think it's like really like horrible. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what happens, these people that I thought like I was gonna be like with forever and ever and ever, in these communities and all these kind of things. I'm just, all of a sudden I find myself, bye. like at first it was really, really difficult to have to find people that you really thought, or I really thought that we were like here, and then to come find out like they don't got my back. They don't even have their own back. like they're not even really the people that they say that they want to be. And then I had to look at where I was not the person that I thought that I wanted to be, and really come to terms with that, really come to terms with really embodying what I say, and not just like saying it, but really aligning with it, like really living and devoting myself to what it is I'm wanting to be. It's one thing for like wanting to be somewhere and like knowing that that's where you're supposed to be, rather than like really being there. And especially in, for me, as a place of service, being in service, it's so much more important that you are walking the walk and not just talking the talk. And I can't be, so I can't just be acting a certain way and not fully embodying it. And spirit had me sit down and take a look at that. And I really came to a place and a space, physically, emotionally, spiritually, where it was just like thing after thing. Like certain people like literally left my life, like left this earth. And I had to really like come to terms with what that meant for me, what that meant for them, what like a bunch of things spiritually, emotionally, and how to really connect deeper. I feel like if anything, it brought me back to mother. It brought me back to Pachamama. It brought me back to the elements. It brought me back to the fire. It brought me back to the earth, to the water, to things that I can count on, and that won't misguide me. So for me, that's what I learned, to just go back to the basics. That's something that no matter what, the earth will heal me, the plants will heal me, it will help heal others, the fire will continue to transmute, the water continues to teach me to flow with my emotions and to flow with the universe. the air is our sacred life force. It continues to connect me back to my truth. And the more that I'm able to have a real connection and a commune with these things that are available and are living inside all of us, the more that I'm able to help and connect others to these things as well. So that's where I feel like I had the most growth and most learning with this pandemic.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. Oh my God. Takeaways from what you just said is flowing and walking in a certain light. And you can't continuously walk in that light if you're not embodying the light that you're trying to walk in. So thank you so much for that, Queen. DJ Overload, I rekindled a friendship during the pandemic, and it has helped me grow and heal in ways I never knew I needed. I am now looking to pay it forward to help someone else with healing. Oh, thank you, DJ Overload. Appreciate you tuning on. Thank you. Again, my name is Angie, aka Anjanae, and this is your Queens Behind the Crown Season 2. Shout out to Logic from iRant Network and Wally from YV Media. And guys, it's almost closing time. So before we close, Queen, thank you, YV. Hearts across the board. Queen Eki, how about you jump on this last topic? This last question, which is what have you healed from? And at the same time, drop us your one word affirmation.
Yeah. What have I healed from? Wow. Taking a page from Neffy, because we talk like literally every day and we heal with each other. We're very authentic. And also, Isis and Graciela, thank you for being so transparent and just being here. Healing for me, this year I went back to therapy and it was so transformative. So that was the process. I did that for a couple of months and I was able to heal childhood trauma. And I was able to continue to stand strong and find my voice, no matter what it looked like. Before old, I got my concern about what this person think and what this person. Now I'm just like, yeah, I'm here because I know I'm here for a purpose. I know I'm here to touch lives and make difference through the Creator. So that for me, that's what I healed from childhood trauma and old Eki, and just continue to walk through that and trust in the process. My one word is happy. I feel happy. Thank you.
Whew, Queen, you back to my favorite saying, trust in the process, trust in the process. Again, we talk about therapy in a negative light, us in the Black community, but it's actually something that's positive. As you can see, it's transformative. Eki just spoke about her personal experience and using the form of, I guess I don't know if you use cognitive behavioral therapy or use any type of other therapy that they have out in the world, but the fact that you said that it healed you, meaning that you now no longer have those ill feelings or angry feelings or hurt feelings anymore, meaning it worked. So if you're listening out here, you're listening to this podcast today, people, please do not be afraid to go and speak to somebody if you're in need of some type of healing or inner peace on certain trials and tribulation that you have been with, because we have testimonies here on our panel from people who are telling you that it works, and it is a healing and an affirmation of understanding and a rebirth of a new person. As Eki just said, she went from being old Eki to a rebirth Eki that is now a person who can stand in her own truth and in her own power. So thank you so much, Queen, for sharing that. I'm gonna throw it to Mel Honeybee. Hi, Mel. Thanks for tuning in. One word affirmation is create. Thank you, Mel.
I'm gonna jump in really quickly. Shout out to Mel. We all went to high school together with Isis. I've known these beautiful queens for over 20 years. And Neffy brought it to my attention last week that I'm very intentional of who we bring on or how we move. So I love you, Mel. Thank you for always support the years.
Again, this is episode 2 of season 3 of Behind the Crown, and we're about to end our show. But before we end our show for today, I'm gonna have the rest of our lovely panel give us a one-word affirmation. So I'm gonna drop it to my girl Mickey to tell us our one word. Love you too, Mel.
always feel like I come on here and I think. But my one word would be acceptance. Acceptance for what it is, what it's going to be, and what will happen in the future. Whether I choose to remain in the spot where I'm at, job wise, or if I choose to throw the dart again and end up somewhere else, my word is acceptance. Accepting everything for what it is, how it is, and how it shall be. No regrets.
You better go and accept that. Talk about no regrets. You took my word because that was going to be my word for tonight. But I guess I'm going to have to find another one as I listen to the rest of our beautiful panel tell us their one word affirmations. So, Isis, if you want to jump in and tell us what your one word affirmation for tonight is. You're on mute, I think. You're on mute. Is she still on mute, guys?
You can hear us. You.
Absolutely still on mute. And I just said my whole dissertation about my word and everything.
It's all right, Queen. The floor is yours now.
I had a word and it was honorable, but I'm changing it to truth because truth must be observed in thoughts, word, and deed. And that is how I live my life, authentically, truth.
Authentically truth. We have acceptance and we have happy. Neffy, what you gonna drop on us today?
Oh no, you guys, these are amazing words. And I just want to add something awesome to the pot that's already brewing with deliciousness of wisdom. Thank you guys for going before. There's so many words that keep popping into my head. But just like when there's so many things going on around and we're talking about inner peace, my one word will be stillness. You gotta just be still sometimes. Just be
still. Be still. And listen, I gotta drop my my word, and I think just to caveat off of this stillness, I think my word is going to be present, because being present allows you to be aware of what is personally for you and walking in your purpose, as this lady over here, Miss Eki Famous, says all the time. So I'm going to be present. Again, is Graciela still on here? Is she still on so we can get her one word affirmation? If not, Queen, please drop it in the chat so we can definitely give you some shine on what one word affirmation you have for our audience. Again, my name is Angie, aka Anjanae, and I am a member of Your Queens Incorporated. And this is behind the crown of season 3, episode 2 of Your Queens Behind the Crown. Thank you so much to Isis from Divine, I want to get it right, Sacred Space, and Graciela Fairy Hawk for coming on today and giving us their blessings and giving us their interpretation of what inner peace and healing means to them. Ladies, it's been a very, very great episode. Thank you to Nefertiti Warren. Thank you to Miss Eki Famous for allowing me to hold it down while she's upstate in the Catskill Mountain, breathing in that fresh air. And thank you to my girl Mickey for always holding us down every episode. And thank you to you, Logic, and Wally. Logic from Iran Network and Wally from YV Media from streaming these on our platform. Again, this is Your Queens Incorporated. We are here to stay. Catch us on our Instagram at Your Queens Incorporated, as well as our Facebook group. We don't got no group. We are a group. Facebook at Your Queens Incorporated. We're on YouTube at Facebook at Your Queens Incorporated. And catch us streaming live on YV Media and Iran Network. Again, my name is Angie, and this is Behind the Crown, Season 3, Episode 2. Continue to tune in, support us, and give us the shine that we need, because we need Black kings and queens to continue to big up other Black artists, because we can't do it by ourselves. We're out.